Hi everyone, welcome to Fun with Art with, guess what? Jeanne B. And I'm Jeanne B. First, I'd like to say, of course, hello to my granddaughter, Alex, and my dear little friend, Sebastian. Hello everybody, I hope you're enjoying summer, because right now I'm filming this during the summer months. So I was thinking, you know, summer is such a short season for us up here in the Northeast. So I wanted to do something simple. I wanted to do something easy. And I was debating on, because nobody wants to sit in the house on long-term projects during the summer for art. So this is what I came up with. Aha, you know me. I always come up with something. So there is an artist on the YouTube channel, and he does beautiful, beautiful work. And he does it with lace. Right? And my dear camera lady, she's the one that hooked me on to him, and said, you gotta see this artist. He takes the lace and then he puts it on the canvas, and he uses Mod Podge to put it on the canvas so it's secured. And so then he paints it, which is really super cool. So now, when I first did it, it didn't come out very well. And I didn't understand what was happening. So, there's always that part where you have to go in and you have to see more. You have to research more. You have to look for more things that maybe are hidden underneath you're not really seeing, because I just watched him and said, oh, yep, I can do that. Let me get some lace, and I did it. And it didn't come out very well. And so then I had to say, okay, so what did he do that I'm not seeing? And in life, a lot of times that's what happens. Things go on behind the scenes and we just don't see them. So we just assume it's the way we see it. So we have to look at a different perspective. So today I want to teach you about lace. What I found out was he used cotton lace. I was using acrylic lace. I don't know if the camera can pick up the difference, but there is quite a big difference in the kind of lace. This cotton, you got to remember, if anybody has been a sewer or anything like that, cotton will absorb. And that's what you need. You need it for when you put it on the plastic, you put it on the canvas. Now, I did mine on canvas, but you can do yours on wood. You can do it on pretty much anything you want. I preferred canvas because that's what I had, and that's what I did. So this is the cotton lace. Now you can see the difference. This is acrylic lace, right? The acrylic lace is lovely, but it does not absorb at all. It kind of beads off the color, and I'll show you the difference in a minute. So how do we prepare these? Now I did 2 little sample pieces so you could see the difference and how they actually get applied onto the canvas. You can actually see there is a difference when you apply them. How the cotton lace almost is raised up off of the canvas, where the acrylic lace just lays flat and it's hard to even see it. It doesn't have any kind of dimension to it at all. And so this is how you would start with this. You would take your lace and you would put Mod Podge down. Now, I happen to just cut it to the edges when I did mine so that I could just, it's messy. I'm going to tell you, it's messy. If you wear gloves, if you can think of an easier way to do it, by all means, go for it. Mine was messy. I used one of these pads down at the bottom, and I like to make a mess. It's okay. I wash my hands. It's all good. So what you do is you put your Mod Podge over the whole canvas. Now, if you're using a large piece of lace, right, you're going to take that and you're going to stretch it first so that it fits over your canvas and secure it. Then put your Mod Podge over that as well. So that's how you start. You start easy, start with a small piece, and I'll show you how to do that. You just take this, like I did this, and I just put the Mod Podge down, then I put the lace, and then I pressed on the lace. And if you're using the cotton lace, the cotton will absorb the Mod Podge, and it almost makes it to the top of it. Once you get that all secured, and it's really secured down onto the canvas, then take some more Mod Podge, because I like a lot of Mod Podge. It's all good. And then I put another layer on the top. And I just kind of, at that point you can just kind of move it around and kind of fit it to what you like to do. So it works that way. Now, this did not work for me at all. When I put the acrylic lace on, it kept sliding all over the place. It had no way for it to, it adhered, but the Mod Podge couldn't come through because it's acrylic, so there's like a sealer on it. And so the lace, I couldn't get through the lace. I mean, if that's all you have, by all means, try it. It's a fun thing to do. So these two pieces, that's all I did, because I wanted to show you how they looked on here. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is, I wanted to show you the difference. So this is the acrylic lace, all right? And this is the cotton lace. Now, if you can see the difference with the acrylic lace, it slides all over the place. And it doesn't give you a clear picture of the, what you're actually trying to paint. This, in turn, the cotton lace, you can actually do a lot of detailed with it. This was just a practice pieces I wanted you to see so you had an idea of what I was talking about. So now let's talk about what kind of paints we're going to use. So you can use acrylics. These are just basic acrylics. There's nothing expensive about them. If you have the little craft ones, that's okay too. Don't be afraid to use them. Now, a lot of times I'm going to tell you a quick story. These are oil paints. I did this one with oil paints. I did this one with acrylic paints. So you can see the difference. But when I was growing up, I had a fear of oil paints. I think it was just because my mom didn't like the smell. And so we, because you had to use turpentine and you had to use all this stuff to clean your brushes. Well, don't be afraid of them anymore. They have cleaners out now that are not so evasive, that you won't, they're not so smelly. Okay, so you can clean your brushes effectively with the oil paints. And I like the oil paints because I find that they give a little bit more depth, and they also give you time to do some blending in between. So don't fear them. And I'm going to tell you, you know how I knew how I overcame my fear of the oil paints? It was kind of funny. We learn from the young people. And my granddaughter, Annie, she's a fantastic little artist, fantastic. She has a lot of talent. And so her mom was saying to me one Christmas that she was going to buy her oil paints. And I said, oh, don't do that. Oh God, you'll stick up the house. And she looked at me kind of funny. And then I realized that it was a story I kept telling myself, that it was going to stink up the house. And so I was almost preventing her from another expansion of being creative in a different way, right? So I said, after she got the paints and she was using them, I said, you don't have a problem with the smell of turpentine? She said, we don't use turpentine. There was some other, I don't remember the name of the stuff, but you can go to the craft store. And all of them have different things that you can use that do not smell as bad as turpentine. So don't be afraid to use the oil paints, okay? So now, when I applied the Mod Podge, I used a big brush. I used this type of thing because what I wanted to do is wanted to put a lot of Mod Podge on at one time so that I could actually stick the lace to the canvas. So don't be afraid to use your Mod Podge. I brought a little one, but I have big jars of it. I mean, I live with Mod Podge, but I wanted to show you what else you can do with this. Because I brought you a little sample, but these are some of the things you can create. So, I mean, it was just a piece of lace, and all I did was paint it. So there's that one. And then I got creative with this one, and I want to show you this one because if you see on the back of this, I took little pieces of like seeds, like heather seeds, like little crumbles, and I mixed it in with the Mod Podge because I wanted a different texture because this is supposed to be flowers. So you can be very, very creative with your lace. And all this is a piece of lace. And I did it the same exact way, but I mixed the Mod Podge with little granulars of, they were like little heather seeds, because I wanted to look like little leaves underneath that. So you can do various things with this. And then I have one more. This one's my favorite because I happen to like roses. And so this is the first one I tried. And I had a lot of fun. Now, all these I did with oils, just because I found that the oil paint on the cotton worked best for me. And that's all. That's the only reason. I'm sure you can get the same effect using acrylic, but I would use a thick-bodied acrylic, not a watery one, because you're going to need that paint to soak right into that that cotton. So use a thick-bodied acrylic, and anybody that uses paint, that they'll understand what I'm talking about. But if that's all you have is little craft paints, by all means try it. It's a lot of fun. If you got acrylics, try it. It's a lot of fun. You'd be surprised the different things that you find that you can do with these lace projects. Okay, that's that. Now, the next thing I wanted to show you was this. So, I don't know if you, but I'm always in the craft stores, forever and ever and ever. I make like a weekly trip, sometimes more than that if I'm bored. But anyways, and especially if it's raining, forget it. That's where you'll find me. So, I have been seeing these. Now, I don't know if you have seen these. I'm not promoting these at all, but I've been seeing these different kits, and I guess that's what they have been. They're all over the craft stores. You can make vases. You can make picture frames. You can make anything you want. They're all over Michael's, as a matter of fact, Amazon. Everybody has them. So I'm going to show you what's in it. And so I said, well, you know what? Guess what? They were on clearance, so that's why I bought them. Because you figure I had to buy 3 of them so that I could make them in stages. And so this is what you get in the kit. They give you enough so that you can actually make this. But I'm going to tell you what. When I started it, maybe I just was overzealous. I bought 3 kits. I had to use 2 of these to make 1. So if you buy the kit, make sure that you space them out. They're very, very simple to do. They're a lot of fun to do. Don't be afraid. This is the, it looks like the chalk that you put inside. So all you do is add water to it. So the first step is this. You start with the frame. They give you the frame. They give you all of it. Now this bag, right, was just one of these. And I was like, that's not going to be enough. Because I really want to fill the whole thing. And at least that's what I thought I was supposed to do. I feel that I overdid it and I put them too close in between. So when you make this, you can actually space them out a little bit more. And so that way when you put the cement stuff in there, it will seal it and it'll be more white than anything else. So once you start with the frame, right, they give you these, and all you do is you stick them on there. Very simple, not hard to do. Then, once you get them all on there, you mix this with a little bit of water. Now, be very careful because this is an irritant. It will irritate you. If you have any problems with asthma, if you have any breathing issues, please wear a mask. It doesn't take that long, but if you're mixing this, the powder might get up your nose and might cause some irritation. So I advise if you have issues, even if you don't, wear a mask, okay? Wear the gloves. They even give you little gloves, which is pretty cool. All right? They give you the bowl to mix it in. They give you the little sponge to wipe it off afterwards. So what do? The first thing I do is this. I place them on here. And they actually have, the hardest part for me, because I have arthritis in my fingers, was taking the little sticker off the back of them. And that's how you put them on. You stick them on. So it wasn't hard. It just was difficult. So, but I found an easier way to do it. If anybody has that problem, is I get a tweezer, and I just take the edge of the tweezer and I pull the little sticker part off, so it works, and it's no problem. This is the glue that you use to put them on. You pull the sticker off, and then you put the glue down first, and then you put these little things on. Pretty simple. It's a no-brainer. Now the fun part is this. Ha! You take this, and it tells you to do in the consistency of like a paste. So you got to make sure that you have enough to get the whole thing. And what you do is, oh wait a minute, I missed a step. You got to let this dry. Don't be hasty. These really have to be secured on there before you start putting anything else on top of it. So this is what you have to really make sure, make them dry. It took maybe 2 or 3 hours, but I did it like in stages and days. Like I did it one day, and I just put it to the side, and then I went and did something else. And so that way I knew it was completely dry, because I didn't want them coming off. So the next stage is I take this, and then I pour this little bit in here, add a little bit of water at a time. They even give you a little spoon and a little spatula to stir it up. And so then you take this, and then you just smear it all over the tiles, so it's completely white. You do have enough. Just if you make it thin enough, you will have enough. I didn't have a problem with that. So you can spread it out so that you will cover each and every one. So the whole thing is going to be white. Then what do? Then you wait. You have to wait till that completely hardens. And then once that completely hardens, which it was humid in my home, so I want to say it took like a day and a half. Like I did it at night. By the next evening, it was dry. And then I waited even more because I wasn't completely sure. And so then I took the sponge. They tell you take the sponge, you rinse it into some water, and all you do is you just start wiping the white concrete stuff off of it. And that's all you do. And then you can see there's still some coming off because I didn't really completely finish it because I wanted you to see that how easily it does come off. If it gets stuck, I was doing it with my fingernail, I was doing it with a little scraper. So you can make them more defined if you want. So I wanted to just bring you some easy crafts for the summer. I thought this was pretty cool. Yeah. How else can you make these? And then, of course, we all know it's a picture frame. But they do have other ones. They have ones that are little vases, if you want a little vase. They had, I think, little animals as well. But I figured the picture frame was easy enough for you to see. And so that way you could understand exactly how it was done, right? So that's my class for today. Isn't that pretty cool? So remember, we're going to do you got the lace to do, which is always fun to do. You might want to do it as a winter project. And remember, don't forget to take chances, like do a little bit at a time, right? Don't think you have to paint the whole thing of lace at once, right? It's a project that is fun to do. It's enjoyable to do because you can take the different colors. You can make it however you want. I happen to get lace that had flowers on it. But there are all kinds of lace. They have lace with the animals. They have all kinds of different things that you could actually make with it. And so have fun with it, right? Don't be afraid to try different paints, right? The oil paints, like I wasn't scared. Don't be afraid because you go in the store, there's plenty of help there. There's plenty of you can see that you look to see the cleaners for the paints. You can Google it and see what kind are not as stinky. Because I don't like the smell of turpentine, but the one I'm using is a pink one. And the paint comes right off. I don't have a problem with it. So, look around, see what you want to do, have fun with it, enjoy it. It's summertime here. And so, of course, I live outside. So I have projects I've done outside as well. So that's been keeping me busy. And so I hope you have enjoyed the show. You enjoy your day, enjoy this summer, get out in the fresh air, right? You can actually, this is fun to do outside, right? And so you can sit under your umbrellas, under your trees, however, it doesn't make a mess at all, and then enjoy life. You have a great day, and I'm so glad you tuned in. I'd like to thank everybody that's helped me with this, and I'd like to thank my camera lady. She actually is a lovely woman that's been doing this for me forever. And her name is Cynthia Fontaine. Don't forget to see her show. It's called Empowering You with Cynthia Fontaine. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. This is Jeannie B with Fun with Art. See you later. Bye.